Hello, my dear Aquarius. Today we are going to be doing a general reading for the month of February. We are finally out of the Venus retrograde, thankfully. So if you have been having a rough time in some areas of your life, hopefully that will be getting at least a little bit back into the norm. We are still dealing with the Mercury retrograde, so be patient. If things are feeling off, I think that a lot of us have been currently going through that. So for today's reading, I'm going to pull a few oracle cards to give us the general idea about what this tarot spread is going to be about. After pulling those cards, we are going to go straight into the reading. I will be clarifying the cards, and at the end be pulling a general message, possibly a general advice which to ponder. You know what, we're gonna get started. It seems like that's what it wanted us to do. We are starting off today with the Work Your Light Oracle deck. So if you are interested in that, please, I will be linking everything down in the description below. But let's get started. So the first message for you today is you're already doing it. So if you've been feeling self-conscious recently, maybe feeling like something that you're doing isn't enough, maybe feeling like you aren't getting things quite right, just know that your light seems to be coming through. You seem to actually already be doing the things that you need to do. So settle down a little bit, maybe let things go into place on their own. I know that that can be a little hard for you, Aquarius. You can be rather breezy, but you also can be incredibly impatient. But whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, it seems like you're already there. Our next area is the Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Both of these cards are very self-fulfilled cards. I am really hoping that you guys, especially with the new moon coming up in your sign, I hope that you guys aren't feeling super self-conscious. It seems like everything is telling you that, one, you have the skills that you need. It seems like that's the kind of energy that the Priestess is embodying. How are you being called to step up and lead? Whatever it is that needs to be done, know that you are able to do it. You just gotta figure out what that thing is if you don't already know. If we're being fair, I think that with a lot of my Aquariuses, you guys usually know what that is. You just get yourself into this little space of like pretending that you don't. I think it might be a really, really good time to kind of seek reassurance outside. Everything is there. I see it. But you might want to ask your loved ones to make sure that you have the validation that you're needing at this point in time. You can take on the world, but what is this project that you're needing to step up on? Let's find out more. Let's see what this takes us to. I think I want to go on with the Light Seer deck, actually. Let's see what it's got for us. I do read many cards in reverse, but there are a solid amount of cards that, not cards, there are a few decks that I have that I actually don't read in reverse. This is one of them. But let's take a look at what we are being called to do. What is it that you are already doing? What are these things that maybe you have been questioning whether or not you're on the right path to, or whether or not you are already kind of falling into place with things that you're being guided to do? Let's just take a look. As a reminder, I read intuitively, so it's not always based on exactly what the cards are telling me. A lot of the times, also, if my cards fall out, I only pick them up if they are 3 or less. But with that being said, it is just really important to me to make sure that I am staying open, and in order for me to practice my own openness, it's really difficult to go back to what these decks actually are meant to tell us. I think that it's one thing when we're talking about the classical cards, you know, but it is a very, very different thing when we are talking about such, not that they aren't artistic, they're beautiful, but when we have different interpretations of the cards, I think that it's super important to take on that message. So if I am reading things like the Three of Swords and I'm not giving you some horrible message or something about heartbreak, rather something about growth, just know that it's based on that. It's not always about what the book says. It's about what images, what messages we're getting. So without further ado, what do we have for Aquarius this month? Let's see, Aquarius. So the first thing that we have for you is going to be the Eight of Cups. So really interesting, actually, because now the you are doing it is the thing that you're doing, walking away from something, because if you see her in the background, she's turned around, she is walking away, the things are behind her. And now bringing up the Eight of Cups, that is behind her. However, this isn't a sad thing. She's moving on, she's moving forward, she's heading into the sunrise. Sunrise, not sunset, sunrise. Wherever it is you're going, whatever it is you think you need to be headed towards, it seems like that's exactly where you're going to end up, and it seems like that's already what's going on. All right, what else do we have for Aquarius? We have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords to me always reminds me to be adventurous. I don't have to tell you that, Aquarius. You are already an adventurous person. You are somebody who kind of seeks life experiences. But for some reason, it seems like you are being reminded that you need to start doing that. You need to make sure that you are continuously doing that for yourself. One other thing that is striking me right now is that every single one of the cards that I have before me is feminine energy making moves. So she is moving forward. Our other one over here is also moving forward. We have the Priestess over here with very magician type energy. She's manifesting. So it seems like the time for you to do. It seems like whatever it is you are doing, make sure that you are continuing to do that. We're about to clarify this. So with this, it seems like there might be something or someone trying to lure you away from the thing that you need to be focused on. Know that the devil usually comes with some not great intentions, but on the other hand, some of us really like to dance with the devil, and Aquarius, you tend to be one of those people, and that's okay. Maybe you need to do that a little bit. Bringing me back to this, whatever it is you need to do, it's already kind of happening in your life. It's already going into place. It's already manifesting itself. But I would just kind of heed this as a warning, as like, okay, if you're gonna go and stray or explore, whatever, make sure that you're staying grounded and you're staying rooted to the things that you need, because the devil is here to mess with you. I feel really compelled to draw one more, so I'm gonna do that. Typically, I end with the threes. Threes tend to be my number, but we'll see. The moon. I actually think the moon and the devil might go together a little bit. You know, I'm gonna wait for the clarification on this because I'm getting two separate messages. I'm getting a message of duality, actually. I think the reason why I had to pull two is that these are possibly the two separate ways. There might be somebody messing with your self, with your sense of identity, with your sense of purpose. And I feel like the moon is drawing us to go within rather than taking this path with the devil. So maybe it's time for a little bit of introspection as well. I think this deck's dead. I'm gonna pull a few more cards actually. I want a little bit more information, not quite clarification. I want like a part 2 to this first reading, and then we'll see how they relate to one another. So with the Eight of Cups, what is it that Aquarius is getting ready to let go of here? What are we walking away from? What are we walking towards? What are the things that Aquarius needs to know going further with the messages currently being received? So with the Eight of Cups, I do read this one backwards. We have the Two of Swords in reverse. So Two of Swords to me is always talking about decision making, always talking about like, okay, you're stalling on this thing that needs to happen. Aquarius, you like to do that if we're being fair. You very, very much like to pretend that maybe you don't have the option. And please don't come at me. My best friend is an Aquarius and she is amazing, but also like one of the most indecisive people I have ever known in my life. And that's kind of what I'm getting with the Two of Swords in reverse. Maybe it is time for you to make that decision to walk away. Whatever it is we're walking away from, it could be a job. I'm not getting anything in particular here. I'm not sensing emotions, potentially an emotional separation or emotional parting, an emotional decision to like walk away from this thing, but I'm not necessarily getting that it is from a relationship in particular. I'm actually getting a little bit of I don't want to say work. It doesn't feel like work. It feels a little bit more like those passion side things that we have in our life. But I don't know. Let's see here with the Page of Wands. Actually, I think the Page of Wands is the one that's going to talk to us about what that thing is within your social life, possibly. So the Three of Cups is about reunions. It is about celebrating. It is about coming together and enjoying the time spent, enjoying one another's energy, and enjoying what we have as a whole. The Page of Cups, remember, it's about that adventurous spirit to me. So the Page of Cups with the Three of Wands tells me that, hey, maybe we need to reassess for a quick second and see if we are doing the things that are actually making us happy. And if we aren't doing the things that make us happy, are we surrounding ourselves with the people that we need in order to be doing those things? That walking away might be from maybe you're currently in a friend group situation. I'm telling you, it doesn't sound like romance. It might be for you. I mean, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. But I'm hoping here that this is kind of telling us that we need to be exploring connections, possibly past connections, and walking away from some that are not currently serving us. We have this indecisive thing. You got to make the choice, man. Do you want to stay in this thing that isn't bringing you any type of no, that's not true. You already left it. Like, you're already doing it. Whatever it is that is too hard, it's not. You're already doing it. Ignore what I just said. You're already doing it. That's the general theme of this. We're not overthinking. Okay, Aquarius? We're not overthinking. You're already doing it. With the Sun and the Moon, we have the Emperor in reverse. Okay. Again, I feel this is very like indecisive, unwilling to take control energy. A lot of the times it is very difficult for us to be able to stand up for ourselves, and it is incredibly difficult for us to be able to take control of people who are manipulative is a really, really strong word, but people who tend to carry themselves a certain way so that other people do what they want them to do. Manipulative. I think it's important that you don't allow yourself to be with the moon. Moon to me always talks about instinct. It talks about making sure that you are following your own inner wisdom rather than whatever this devil is. The Emperor in reverse tells me that this is going to be a very difficult decision for you. It's going to be a difficult thing for you to feel like you have reins on. It's going to not feel like you are in control of the situation, but you can be in control. All you have to do is go within. All you have to do is make sure that you are tapping into that moon energy so that you are able to kind of progress in the way that is best for you. All right. I want to draw one more set of cards, actually. I want to see if we can find a relationship between these. And so what I'm going to do, this is kind of different, but we'll see what it brings us. What I'm going to do is place midpoints. We've got our first one, the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So he has been through it, but he is back home. He is making his way back. He is done with war. He's not fighting anymore. I feel like that's probably what the Eight of Cups is also kind of bringing us towards. We're done. We're walking away. We're going into this thing that we know is going to be better for us because we've already been there. One more card, please. The Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands, I always see as communication coming in. It did pop up in reverse. So it, to me, can be somebody withholding information, and that coming back with the Devil, it might be somebody withholding information that is making it more difficult for you to be able to be in that Emperor upright position, and it's got you in the Emperor upside down position. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but it is definitely something to keep in mind. I want to pull a Goddess card for you, actually. There wasn't a whole lot about love in here, but I do believe that we need to actually enter a little bit into the feminine energy, especially with this Devil and Emperor energy that are kind of off. So let's see what we've got. One last message, please, for my Aquarius. One last message for Aquarius. We have the Goddess of Light here. Let's take a look at her message. So the Goddess of Light comes in to remind us that we are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. You get what you give. I think that this isn't a message for you. I think this is a message for whatever this is. Whatever this is that is bringing you toxicity, that is bringing you codependency. I don't know, the codependency word really stuck in my head. Know that there is a big karmic balance in the world, and they are going to get what they deserve. It isn't necessarily up to you to make that happen. I think that's a big part about us going within, knowing that it isn't necessarily our place, and that's okay. The world is going to take care of it. But the world is going to be a reflection of who you are. So if you go into this returning the toxicity, that's what the world is going to be for you. If you go into this with love, with not love for everyone, love for yourself, always love for self, then we should be able to walk away from it with love as well. Thank you so much for spending so much time with me. I was not expecting this to be a 20-minute reading, but I mean, typical Aquarius, of course we need to give you tons of time. But I really do love this reading. Tells me a whole lot about you making sure that you stay your beautiful self and making sure that you remain within your own energy. I really hope you liked your reading. If you did, please go down, give this a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel so that you can be updated to whenever I post new videos. Go ahead and hit that bell as well if you want notifications. If you want to see the pictures of the final layouts as well as pictures within the individual cards that I laid down in the first place, please go over to my Instagram. The link is down in the description as well. But with that, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And definitely enjoy being out of Venus retrograde. See you guys later. Bye.